kind of love is here. Let these troubles leave me down. I tell you, come on everybody, come on everyone. The kind of love is here. Let these troubled days be done.
Good morning, good morning. Good morning, everybody. This is Dr. Herbert Harris, and this is our success thought number 56 for today. I love investing. Thank you, and all of you are listening this morning. Our theme song, The Time to Love, is here. You know, we wrote and recorded that, and it's available on iTunes and Amazon and on Spotify. So share it with your friends because, folks, the time to love is truly here. When we consider all that's going on in the world, it's time to be more loving, more clear about the things we want, and more caring about our fellow man and woman. Fellow people. You know, it's so hard. The pronoun thing is amazing. It's like people. We are all people. Today, of course, our topic is 7 steps to eliminate worry. And this is taken from our book, The 12 Universal Laws of Success, the Super Achiever Edition. And if you don't have a copy, be sure to get your copy because this book is your recipe book for success. Of course, it's available on Amazon. Be sure to get the Super Achiever Edition, the 12 Universal Laws of Success Super Achiever Edition, and on all the other websites, plus our own website, www.12uls.com. This topic, I want to share a little story because this topic really transformed my life. And when I say that, let me tell you a story. Many years ago, I was writing a newspaper column called Thoughts for Success. And we had it syndicated. I syndicated it myself to about 200 papers. And the only problem was it was only $10 a month. I'm sorry, $10 a week for the column. And the only problem was the internet was not there and everything was done by fax. And one of the things that happened was that I'd send the column and fax them out every week, but so many of the newspapers wouldn't pay. And for $10 a week, you're going to go to somebody in Texas and say, hey, you owe me $40. So it was kind of a no-win situation, and it really depressed me. You know, like, I'm writing these columns, I'm researching, I'm putting them out there every week, and the papers won't pay for it. And it said to me that they didn't appreciate the column. And so one day I decided, I said, I am going to stop writing them. They don't appreciate it. They won't pay me. I'm not going to do it anymore. And I'm telling you this story because I know that many of you are at a point in your life where there's something that you're doing that you love doing, and it's not being received in the way that you thought it would be. You know what I'm talking about. And so I made a decision to stop. I'm not sending these people my columns anymore because they won't pay me. The very day I made that decision and I sent the last column out and I said, that's it. I go to my P.O. box and there's an envelope, one of those small envelopes, hand addressed, pencil. Okay. And when I opened the envelope, it was a letter from a lady, an elderly lady out in like Spokane, Washington. And she was saying that, you know, she was elderly. All of her kids had sort of predeceased her, her friends, and she just felt very alone. And she had decided that it was time to change, to leave this world, put it like that. And so being a nice, dutiful lady, she wanted to leave her house in order. And so she was wrapping up all of her plates. And this particular day, there was a newspaper that had this column, 7 steps to eliminate worry. And as she was wrapping up the plates, she read the column. And when she finished reading the column, it changed her life. She wrote me a letter with a check for $500. And so the lesson is this, that you may not be clear about who your blessing is coming from. That when you feel moved to do important things, when you feel moved to write, to share, to lead, to whatever the things are that you feel moved to do for people, to do for the world, that don't worry about where the blessing is coming from. You know, when you prime the pump, you don't wonder where the water is coming from in the ground. Don't worry about where the blessing is coming from. Be guided by your purpose. Be guided by your need to serve. Because if you keep doing what's right, don't worry, the results will come to you. Good morning, Dr. Mansa Musa. Thank you. Call me Professor. What you say, baby? Everybody's here. Thank you so much this morning. So I share that story because I know that many of you are doing things right now, coming out of this pandemic. You're sharing, you're teaching, you're giving of yourself to the world, and you may not be getting back what you thought you would. But don't let the results that you're getting impact your need to give. Let me say that again. Don't let the results that you're getting impact your need to give. Your need to give, your need to share comes from God. And believe me, God will take care of the return for you. So keep doing what you're doing. So this 7-point formula to eliminate worry, let's go through them quickly, because if you're at a point right now where there's uncertainty, where there's doubt, where you're not sure how to go forward, you need this. This is from pages 108 and 109 in the 12 Universal Laws of Success Super Achiever Edition. And step 1 is to realize that most of the things that you worry about are not going to happen. That so often we worry about outcomes that are simply not going to manifest. The great Montaigne, the French essayist, had a great quote. And he said, "My life has been filled with terrible misfortunes, most of which never happened." So realize that most of the stuff you're going to worry about is not going to happen anyway. Number 2, determine the worst possible outcome of the situation you're worrying about. Once you look at a situation, once you look at your life and the way things are going, and it's not a pleasant picture, determine what's the worst that can happen. So many times we really live our lives, fighting shadows and ghosts, things that exist in our mind but don't really exist in reality. And these shadows and ghosts may be based on past experiences. So when we determine the worst thing that can happen, the 3rd step is to accept the worst, resolve the worst that can happen. When you're in the military and you're in a challenging situation and somebody's up on that hill, a friend of mine, he said, I really thought I was a pacifist. I didn't want to go in the military, but they wouldn't recognize my pacifism. And he said he went in, and at one point he's in the battlefield and he has resolved that he's not going to shoot anybody. And he hears these sounds, these bullets coming through the trees, and he realized somebody's shooting at him. And once he said, the worst that can happen is I get killed. Okay. So once I accept that, let me see, what's my course of action? So in our lives, when you resolve to accept, once you identify the worst that can happen and you resolve to accept it, it gives you a whole new paradigm, because it says to you, if this is the worst that can happen, what do you do next? And whatever you seek, you find. Whatever you ask, you get the answer. Whatever you knock on, the door is open. So once you resolve to accept the worst, then you can go to step 4, which is to proceed to improve upon the worst by concentrating on the positive aspects of the situation. So if you're in that foxhole and that person is shooting at you, don't concentrate on the fact that he's got a machine gun, okay, and you don't, but concentrate on the positive aspects. Hey, I was number 1 in my marksman training, okay? I can hit a quarter at 200 yards with one eye closed. So as you face the challenges of life, once you resolve to accept the worst, look at how to improve upon the worst. So, all right, well, let me position myself over here. This way I'm protected by a tree. Sometimes in a relationship, when you look at the worst that can happen, you say, I need to get out of this relationship. But they always tell you, if you have your hand in the lion's mouth, don't jerk it out quickly, because the lion may react and bite your hand off. Okay? So when you start to proceed, to how to work out and figure on how to improve upon the worst, you say, okay, my hand is in the lion's mouth. It's not a good situation, but let me just be very quiet, be very still, because I don't want to scare the lion. And let me just ease my hand on out. Maybe I have some meditation music over here. Maybe the lion likes meditation. Let me hit the button, let the meditation music play. Once you decide to improve upon the worst, you literally realize that this negativity, whatever the situation, is almost a shadow based on fear, based on false evidence appearing real. So when you begin to improve upon the worst by focusing on the positive aspects of who you are and what your talents are, the fifth key is to review your life experiences, especially things that worked for you in the past. See, success leaves clues. So does failure, as a matter of fact. Life leaves clues. So whenever you're in the jam, whenever you're in that tight spot, you just look at what the good things you can have. You know, in the past, you've been in this situation. I guarantee many of you who are listening today have been in situations where your back was against the wall. And you think to yourself, okay, my back was against the wall. What did I do then? I came out swinging. When my back is against the wall, what did I do then? I called for help. So look at your life experiences and really focus on the things that worked for you in the past, because I guarantee you, if you're still alive, you're victorious. You've accomplished great things. Where faith prevails, worry must flee. Where faith prevails, worry must flee. Step 6, to practice living one day at a time. As you go through the challenges of your life, look at each day. We call them day-tight compartments. Don't let yesterday's failures impact tomorrow's possibilities for success. When you live in day-tight compartments, you forget yesterday's failures and you concentrate on tomorrow's possibilities for success. Many of you right now at this point in your life, don't worry about that didn't happen. You just focus on that that's ahead of you. You know, sometimes we think about David and Goliath, and it's a matter of perspective. You know, when David is looking at Goliath there, he's saying, you know, you can look at the negative side and say, man, Goliath is a big, mean, ugly giant. You know, how can I hit him and bring him down? Or you can look at the other side and say, gosh, he's so big, how can I miss? Anyway, I sling this rock, I'm going to hit that sucker. Okay. Practice living one day at a time. Concentrate on doing everything you can today. You see, today is under your control. Today is within your power. Concentrate on doing everything you can today to handle tomorrow, to make tomorrow the way you want it to be. And then finally, number 7, don't cross the bridge until you get there. You see, if you take care of today, tomorrow will take care of itself. Don't waste your energies dealing with situations that may arise in the future. Deal with possibilities that exist right now. If you take good care of today, of the present, of the now, then no matter what the challenge, no matter what the difficulty, no matter what the obstacle, you will be victorious. So the 7 points to eliminate worry from your life. 1, realize that most of the things you worry about will not happen. Number 2, determine the worst possible outcome. Number 3, resolve to accept the worst. Number 4, improve upon the worst, concentrating on the positive aspects. Number 5, review your life experiences and look at points where you have been victorious in the past. Number 6, practice living one day at a time. And finally, number 7, don't cross the bridge until you get there. Deal with the now. Deal with the today. Deal with what's in front of you right now, because within the now is the seed for the next. Remember that. Within the now is the seed for the next. Wow. Woo, folks, let's just take a little breather on that. I wanted to get that out today because I can sense that many of you are feeling and experiencing some changes and some challenges right now. And so replace worry with faith. Okay? Replace indecision with certainty. Replace fear with courage. You can be what you want to be. You can do what you want to do. You can have whatever you want to have if you believe in you. Always knowing that the best is yet to come. All right, folks. So let's sing it on out. Once again, every morning, 8 a.m., Monday through Friday. We're right here on Instagram and live on YouTube. Share this broadcast with at least 3 other people so that they can be transformed. And remember this. Come on, everybody. Come on, everyone. The time to love is here. Let these troubled days be done. I tell you, come on, everybody. Come on, everyone. The time to love is here. Let these troubled days be done. See you tomorrow morning, 8 a.m., Monday through Friday. And Saturday morning, we have our Success Mentorship class on Facebook and on Instagram. Dr. Herbert Harris saying, always know that the best is yet to come. And so it is.